Every animal that ever lived made decisions. Most of them worked. Some didn't. The fossil record usually shows us the result. Bones, skeletons, extinction. But sometimes it captures the mistake itself. A moment where an animal reacted and never got the chance to react again. Paleontologists call these behavioral snapshots. One of the most famous was discovered in the Gobi Desert. It preserves a confrontation so sudden that neither animal had time to disengage. On one side was Protoceratops, a small, stocky herbivore related to Triceratops, built for defense. On the other was Velociraptor, lighter, faster, and equipped with specialized hunting adaptations. What makes this fossil extraordinary isn't just that the animals were found together. It's how they were positioned. Protoceratops appears to be holding onto the raptor's arm, applying enough force to cause serious damage. At the same time, Velociraptor was using its signature claw in a targeted strike. This wasn't a staged interaction or a random overlap. It was a real encounter, interrupted and preserved in motion. And it raises a question paleontologists still debate today. Velociraptor was smaller than Protoceratops, so was this a risky attempt by a lone hunter? Or evidence of coordinated behavior that went wrong? Whatever the answer, this fossil doesn't just show a fight. It captures a decision, made in a fraction of a second, that was never undone. There's a saying that there's always a bigger fish. In this case, the fossil record literally proves it. To understand how, we need to talk about pterosaurs. Pterosaurs were flying reptiles that dominated the skies for much of the Mesozoic era. They weren't dinosaurs, but their lineage stretched back to the Triassic. Some were small insect hunters. Others grew to extraordinary sizes. Many specialized in fishing. About 150 million years ago, one such pterosaur, Rhamphorhynchus, was skimming over the water. The fossil shows it capturing a fish when another species, Aspidorhynchus, reacted to the movement. The interaction pulled both animals underwater. What makes this remarkable is that the fish wasn't hunting the pterosaur. It likely reacted on instinct. That split-second response became preserved in stone. And it wasn't unique. Several fossils show the same pattern repeating. Together, they form one of the strangest examples of a food chain recorded in the fossil record. Not every prehistoric animal met its end suddenly. Some survived lives so physically demanding that it's remarkable they lived as long as they did. A perfect example is Tyrannosaurus rex. Sue, one of the most complete T-Rex specimens ever found, shows evidence of healed injuries, long-term infections, and age-related wear. She didn't just survive challenges, she aged. Another specimen, Stan, tells a similar story. Marks on his skull and neck match the teeth of another T-Rex, suggesting violent encounters between members of the same species. Yet those injuries healed. Being an apex predator didn't guarantee safety, but it didn't mean fragility either. In ecosystems like the Morrison Formation, survival was never simple. Allosaurus was the dominant predator there, yet the animals it hunted were capable of defending themselves with immense force. Stegosaurus, for example, carried one of the most effective defensive structures ever evolved. Fossil evidence shows that at least one encounter ended badly for the predator. Even so, Allosaurus continued hunting such animals. Bite marks preserved on Stegosaurus plates prove these confrontations happened repeatedly. Not all fossils record conflict. Sometimes, all it takes is a single step. Fossilized footprints capture moments of movement frozen in time. In what's now Switzerland, a small sauropod walked across soft ground. Directly in its path was a resting turtle. That unfortunate overlap became the earliest known example of an accidental encounter preserved in the fossil record. And finally, one of the most unusual fossil discoveries of all. An ichthyosaur undone by an ambitious meal. This marine reptile lived during the Triassic, in seas filled with diverse and experimental life. The fossil captures a predator attempting to swallow prey nearly its own size. The effort exceeded what its body could handle. The result is a rare snapshot of the limits of predation. A reminder that even the most successful hunters sometimes pushed just a little too far.